Hey, I heard something. Someone's here who puts sound goodizer on the master.
Over there, and his friends are Logic users.
Okay.
Hey my lovely people, as I promised I am back with another juicy tutorial. Today you will learn how to create an epic melodic and bouncy future house track. You don't have to skip to the end to see the final result. Here is a little preview for you. Now guys, sharpen your ears, because I will show you everything about this track and how I casually made it. I will show you how I created the MIDI patterns like leads, chords, basses, and how I process the volume automations to make the track so epic and bouncy. Then I will also show you the full drum loop and why I did things the way I did them. And for the special juice I show you how I mastered the track, because I get tons of messages every video how I master my tracks. So guys, I was listening the Jonas Aiden Award video, and I was stunned by the epic drop melody of the track by Jack and James called Feel Alive.
It's so good.
I felt that thoughts are the perfect example of how to make a melodic future house drop, because the melody is just epic. You definitely should check out these guys, they are just amazing. To recreate the track, I just dragged the piano from Nexus and began to make the melody, then the bass line, and then the chords. As I had the song structure ready, I went further to build a badass track out of it. Therefore I was searching for different lead sounds of my future house preset pack to make the lead melody as same sounding as in the original track. I find my lead 18 and thought it will fit perfectly into the style of the song. So these lead sound will be the headline of my lead sounds. After that I searched lots of other presets in Synth 1, Serum and Spire to fill up the lead and give it a really strong body, and to make it more wide, I just adjusted these volume knobs right here to mix the lead sounds together as I wanted them to sound. At the end I find myself stacking 14 different lead sounds together. Ha 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 ha. Then I put them all into one channel and gave them the kickstart for the sidechain effect. I cut out some low frequencies and glued all the sounds together with the OTT with 35% depth. Then I added the decapitator at half full to distort the leads a bit and make them even stronger. I put some reverb onto it that is linked to the peak controller, and that is the full lead sound so far guys. In my opinion this lead sounds sick, but we want to give it a more bouncy vibe, so I have to automate the volume a bit. We just grab the fruity balance and create an automation clip, and we are adjusting the automation just as we want. In the original track I noticed a little stuttery effect on the leads also, so I made another volume automation with fruity balance. This is how the lead sounds in total guys. Nice. Now we can look at the fat bass line. For the bass line I was searching for very gritty and rough sounding basses of my pack, and I found some nice one in Serum. I stacked them till I thought it needs more power, so I hopped into my Spire and searched for another few bass sounds. Nice. But the richness of the bass wasn't there yet, so I went even into Synth to find some more. After listening to the bass line a few times I decided to put 2 brass stabs from my future house sample pack onto it for a more organic touch. At this point I counted 13 different bass sounds on the total stack. This is how they sound together without processing. Nice. But now we drag some effect onto it. As always, kickstart. For the mid basses I cut out the lows under 100 Hz, for sure OTT at 30% depth to glue them together. Then our bass stereo at 80% to boost some frequencies, and I distorted the crap out of them with a decapitator. I took the fruity balance and automated the volume the same for the choppy effect. At last I put a fruity filter onto it that starts working after the drop when the song fades to the end to make the track more vibey there. The sub bass has its own channel, and I technically done the same as for the mid basses. The only thing I've done differently is that I cut out the high frequencies and boosted some lows, and in the R bass I put it to 32%. Done. The bass line is fat like a fat cat. Now we hop to the chords. The purpose of the chords in this track is just to fill up the mid-frequency range a bit, so it is playing in the background. For the chords I choose chords 3, chords 5, chords 6 and chords 7 in Sylenth 1, chords 1 and chords 20 in Serum, and chords 11 in Spire. As always, I mixed them together to make them nice. Without processing they sound like this. For the processing I just cut out some lows and gave them OTT at 40% depth to glue them together. To make them more wet I gave them reverb that is linked to the peak controller, and with the fruity balance I also made the volume automation. It is the same volume automation than the leads and basses. Then I thought my tracks needs a bit more mid-frequency stuff, so I took a Nexus grand piano that play also the chords. It is basically processed the same as the chords I showed you before. At this point our track sounds like this without any drums. It's a nice foundation I think. Now I show you how I added the drums. For the kick layer I choose kick 5 and kick 10 from my Future House sample pack because they punching very hard. I know it's weird to layer kicks, but I liked it on this track. Then for more bounciness I reversed the kick 5 and put it in. For more punch I choose the top kick 1 of my pack. Then I took some drop claps to give the track more atmosphere. After that I added 3 pre-shifted clap loops onto it and I layered 7 different claps because I like the transient of the claps. It makes the whole track more bouncy and on point. I took a crashed sound and processed it the right way to the lead melody. It just gives the track more energy. And then I added a hi-hat and a ride on some points to make the track more sharp in the high frequency area. To give the track more drive I took one of my tonal riser and cymbal riser and put it into the second part of the drop. All the used samples in this project is from my Future House preset pack which will be available to get very soon on my website. If you wanna be notified about the release, just hit the bell. Oh, I almost forget. To make the bass line even bigger I took 3 different bass samples and pitched it to the bass line and it fills up the mid-low frequency area a bit. For the outro I spontaneously created a little pluck melody with a view of my plucks in Serum. With a bit of processing they sound like this. So guys, we are almost ready, but I have a little ear candy for you right here. When the drop hits, you will notice a little distorted bass sounds which fades into the melody instead. This bass sound is the bass 17 in Serum from my pack, and with a little low frequency boost and volume automation it sounds like this. All alone it sounds boring, but together with everything else I love it. Guys, now we are coming to the part Avi and wants to know all the time how I do the mastering. On this project I just took the Isotope Ozone 5. I choose this preset right here. I felt that the track is compressed too much so I decreased the level a bit. Then I gave the whole track a 20 and 18 kHz cut and put the sausage fattener onto it as a limiter. Done. So guys, we are ready. This is the epic and bouncy melodic Future House drop for you. You can get these sick FLP for free on my Selfie with all the used samples and presets. And check out my Future House preset pack. It's sick. It contains 100 Sylenth 1 presets, 100 Serum presets, and 100 Spire presets. As I said, the whole Future House sample pack with above 300 sample will be released soon. But no, we are listening to our drop we created. I took the original track which will fade into our drop. Let's go. Guys, thanks so much for watching.